if girlfriend just dies?
Dead.
Girlfriend does die.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to our developer commentary from the FNF featuring RoBeats mod team. Yay. Okay, first of all, thank you for over 100 downloads. It means a lot. Thank you. And okay. Alright, so first of all, we're gonna introduce our mod team, starting off with Banana, since you're at the top of the list. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name's Banana Switch. I did art and animations for the mod, and I just draw a lot in general. That's really it.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna go down the list. Well, just go down the list.
I'll just go. Yo, hello everyone. My name's Doofy Player, and I was the lead charter and reviewer for each of the maps or charts in the game.
Alright, thank you,
That
Matthew.
is wild. I didn't even see that I was next. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am Matthew. I have made an instrumental. I did the Lemon Summer thing. Yes, that
All right.
basically all I did.
Alright, thank you. Alright, hello, I am Shadowstar, and I am the project manager of this. And I did various things in the mod.
I am the Vixalovo. I charted stuff. That's it.
Very cool. And last but not least, in this VC, Zombie Ghost.
I am Zombie Ghost, or ZMBGST. At first I was the artist guy, but then I became the programmer guy in the end. So, yeah.
Start clapping, yay, okay.
Very
Yay!
sick. I'm clapping, but I have push to talk, so I can't clap.
Oh, turn off your push to talk. Funny jokes in the meantime. Oh, wait.
There we go.
Okay,
I can clap.
I'm kidding. Okay, so our first thing on the list says circumstances for how the mod is created. All right, this is actually kind of sad, but I guess thank you Roblox for making this possible, because it all started one day when I was developing my game in Roblox, and suddenly I got the message that my account was deleted. Yeah, that was terrifying, but it was okay. No, it wasn't. I got my account back, so it's okay. And then I was like,
how did your account get deleted?
I
think you posted like an image
of Germa's son. Wait, let me see.
Germa's sussy.
I got deleted for it. Okay, let me find it. Wait, because I know it was because there was too many layers in it, so Roblox just automatically detected it as like inappropriate. So that was the image.
What the heck?
I don't know.
Yes.
Bad battle and Germa.
Yes, that was it.
Daddy sussy.
Okay, yeah, so that was it. And then I was like super bored. And I was also super sad.
Ohio,
so
daddy sussy.
me, while I was playing on my alt account, all I played was Super Golf, because that was the only game that you didn't need any gear to be good at or anything to get any advantages. So then eventually I got bored of that. So then I was always liking FNF modding, so I was like, why don't we make our own, because I have nothing better to do and I'm so tired of Super Golf. And that's how it started. Next, forming the team. Okay, I just literally posted an announcement, and then people just DM'd, and I was like, okay, you can join.
Yeah, and that was
Actually,
April the 23rd, which was a long
but
time
that
ago.
was like only like a couple people. I think it was just Banana, Jackie, and
the moment I saw that,
Rodan.
this is my
and
chance.
yeah, okay. And then after that, I think Doofy.
No, I think you DM'd me.
Yeah,
about it.
I
You were
actually-
mentioning it in my
Yeah,
DMs,
I asked
and then
you.
I was like, yo, I'll join.
Yeah, and then after that,
and then
oh my
after
God.
that, you went into mapping hangout, and you were like, "Hey, who wants to join this?"
yeah, because we
FNF
needed
mod?"
more charters. So I was like, all right, I need people to join. So I sent it like a little an advertising thingy in Discord, and there you go. I got more charters from that. And Ghost was from Doofy, because I don't know how that was even brought up, but.
Let me, I think I just
I think I
mentioned
remember it. I think Doofy randomly DM'd me about something, and then the topic, then I probably said oh yeah, I'm just having fun, I'm drawing a bunch of FNF concepts, and then Doofy was like, yo, I know someone who's working on a FNF RoBeats mod, you want to join it? I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then I joined it, and there's only, I think, 5 people in the entire server, so
Yeah.
it definitely grew a lot.
I think I don't know what happened, but Lena just appeared one day. I don't know where she came from.
I invited her.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, our
Yeah.
initial plans for the mod, because it was me programming it at first, and I was like kind of crap at programming, and I could only do like the basic stuff. I was just planning to do like just like songs and like basic characters and nothing really fancy. Like you can see on the screen right now, we have like some like large chart thingy. Yeah, I was never planning for anything like that. It was just gonna be like casual weeks and like just kind of regular stuff, kind of like witty, but minus the cutscenes because I didn't know how to do that.
Were you gonna have like original RoBeats characters at the time, or was it all gonna be like community stuff?
No, I think I'm not sure. I just knew like they wanted to be like RoBeats related, but I didn't have any ideas of like what it was gonna be. Like just anything RoBeats related. At first I wanted Roxy to be girlfriend, but then I realized it was gonna be a lot of work, so I just scrapped that idea. Was it any old concepts at the time? At this
I
In
remember
pinned
like,
and planning.
I
You
remember
just
the
get-
old
they're all
sprite
in
sheets.
plans. Let's see what there is in here. So we do have
I remember
some-
the old sprite sheets for.
Yeah, I know you see the very first pin on April 25th, 2021. And then some beautiful drawing of Spocko with his like necklace neck. It just says
You
Rob.
have
Lego
It
hands.
just says Rob on his shirt. Like nothing else.
Rob.
Rob.
And
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
all the charters left, and we're left with just 3 left.
How-
Many people mid development just left.
So there we go. Our next section is the start of serious production. And so when was the turning point for development to start? And that is definitely when Ghost joined. Because he was so
Yeah,
into
yeah,
he was
I agree
very
with that.
very into the FNF stuff. So all of us were
Mhm.
like sitting around like lounging around doing nothing, and Ghost appears and is super into it. We're like, okay, let's just get serious now. That was pretty much it.
Wow. I whipped everyone on the back and I told them to start working or you're fired.
No,
Ghost just
no.
became this, just appeared, just like, alright, guys, I'm in charge
Just
now.
became it, the guy.
I'm charting an extra chart so I don't get my IP address leaked. That's how serious it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
No, he's a
would
very scary man.
Leak your IP if you don't map.
IP,
Yes.
social security number,
we-
everything. It's all going onto the public.
Yep.
It's like that. It's like the Roxy thing. Oh, your internet cut out? I don't care. Pay Robux or you can't play with other people.
Rude.
Was everything finalized at this point?
No, because we changed a couple songs.
Yep,
Yeah.
halfway through
We
for
were.
week
I
3.
wanted to do Scatman in this, but
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
yeah, we had
biggest
Scatman.
disappointment. That was gonna be a fun one. Initially, the last song for week 3, that was gonna be Scatman, because we thought like we could maybe change the song title from Scatman to Spotman and be clever.
Spotman.
Spot
Yeah.
Spotman.
We also did come up with BB Hendel too around that time
Yeah.
for adding it. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that got added still. Some of the weirder stuff.
yeah,
in
I remember
RoBeats.
I was like, oh my god, BB Hendel is like yodeling. That's like boyfriend language. Let's do it. Which aspects of development were the easiest and the hardest? Okay, why don't we just do one at a time because we all did different stuff. Banana, go first.
I really have like no idea what was the easiest. I'd probably say for at the time when I was making the old sprites, definitely those, because I had to take the body parts, everything, do all this crazy stuff, and then try to fit them into the XML like sprite, things, and then everything became easier when I had Adobe Animate. I'd say the concepts were the easiest because it only took me like a few minutes to draw.
Very cool.
So, as a reviewer, the hardest part was just getting people to update their maps and fix them on a deadline. Because for some reason, a lot of
I
people would
was
just.
a good boy.
You were a good boy,
This was
Vix.
very fast.
He was a good boy. You would fix your maps on time, but a lot of the other charters would not fix their maps. So I would have to like threaten them sometimes. like zombie, I would
You
threaten
guys are
them.
the Roxys of this team.
Alright,
Okay, what was
that's,
the easiest part?
Easiest part, I don't know, just mapping in general. Like, it's not that difficult.
Which was the easiest map to do?
Easiest
then?
map, probably Insight because I've heard that song over and over again. So
That's-
yeah.
that's facts.
As a music producer, I think probably the easiest part was just like, actually getting the general melody and stuff down, because it's already there. It's not that difficult to just actually write the melody. The most difficult part, I cannot stress it enough, is the sound design. Oh my goodness. It is so hard to get anything to sound right. This is just in general as well. It's not even just FNF. But for this specific mod as well, another difficult part was to get the vocals sounding like it blends in well with the song, I guess, especially when it was made with different DAWs. Like sometimes the vocals would sound a bit off, sometimes the audio would need to be normalized. It's kind of frustrating to realize that as well. You kind of can't refresh and see it in a different perspective. You would probably have to get other people to be like, hey, does this sound good? And if it doesn't, you're gonna be like, oh, what do I do now? Hopefully form something good.
Yeah, I did like the music thing when it's like either like one is too loud. For example, like so for Spocko and Boyfriend mixing, like Spocko's voice is very low, so it's very quiet, and then you switch to Boyfriend, and he's extremely loud because all of his notes are super high. So like,
Yeah,
balance
exactly.
this, and because like his sound font is really quiet, so even if you turn it up, yeah, it was just all the mixing was just.
Spotco's frequencies are just so incredibly beefy.
Spocko, the Spocko Dark Sheep thing is literally my Osu opening. Like I just hear that every time I open Osu now. Alright,
continuing.
for me, I think the hardest part was like programming. Okay, no, the first day, like when I was trying to install Kdengen onto my computer, you know how much software you have to download just to get it to work? Otherwise, like if you're missing like one thing, the thing just doesn't open. So like me, not knowing what I'm doing, I'm like downloading all this weird, suspicious hacks files, and I'm like, alright, this is kind of weird. And then to find out that the tutorial I was using like didn't fully explain everything, so I was always missing a program, and I was like spending like literally just installing Kdengen was like the biggest headache ever.
If I can interject, keep in mind, this was made before Psych Engine was like released or even being worked on, because Psych Engine is a lot more easier to like add stuff on. So Kdengen at the time was pretty much the only other option besides like FPS Plus or something like that.
The greatest part was actually no, this wasn't the easiest part, but the funnest part was making the Trash Kitty assets.
Psych Engine doesn't even require brain power at all. Probably even not even brain cells. That's why I use it.
Oh god. Yeah, Trash Kitty, I was like, okay, I want to make a little thing of Trash Kitty. So I just like literally just like got a picture of like Trash Kitty and just started like distorting everything to make a little asset. And at the time I don't have Adobe Animate, so I can't make XML files. I just took Pico's files because he was short and Trash Kitty was short and just matched it. That's why in some of the frames you can actually see like the next frame beside it because it's not fully like inside the actually I think the easiest part was probably like charting was fairly easy because I've done it a lot, even though I didn't do a lot, but it was fairly easy. Also the music part was okay because I'm able to like hear notes, but it also kind of takes a while to like do audio balancing, so I wouldn't say it's the easiest, but it definitely was like an easier part. Okay, Vix, wanna go next?
Yeah.
If I had to input a hardest part, it would be the time where, I was doing fine and dandy, and all of a sudden Doofy player was like, hey, there's Jackson, Bad Apple Easy, and then I look and see everything at Chris's side was just shifted to the left. So like people, like notes on the first column were just still there, but the second column one would just go to the first column and the third to the second, and so on.
Yeah,
and I don't know how that happened, but it did.
It's a little weird. I don't know what causes that issue.
Yeah. What would you say the easiest part then was?
Fixing it.
Okay, that's true. That's true. You're just moving notes over.
Fixing it.
Okay.
I like how it's both the hardest and the easiest.
I think it's maybe annoying is the word, because you don't want to fix it after you spent all that time mapping and you're like, man, everything's ruined. It's just
Awesome. I should have thought about this.
you had all this time.
I guess. Yeah, I know. I guess at the start, I did both art and programming. I feel like I should do either or, but you guys kind of like combined everything. I'll start with programming though. Probably the easiest thing in terms of like programming Actually, I don't know what it is. I'll start with the hardest. The hardest, I know for sure, is either one of two things. It was either making the mod chart or adding all the songs into the base engine. Because,
Didn't the
I'll
mod chart
focus on
like break?
yeah, the mod chart broke at some times, but that was just because I forgot to like close a bracket or I forgot to put it then because it uses Lua for mod charts, which sucks. But the thing with the maps themselves is we're not using the FNF editor because, my opinion, it sucks in like every single engine. We all are RoBeats mappers, or we all had like some affiliation with like RoBeats, so naturally most of us use Osu already, and we found like a Osu
Flavor is
to
definitely
FNF.
better though.
Yes.
Fireball
Wow.
versus Camellia, greatest thing to ever exist for FNF.
Wow. But so kind of like with that whatchamacallit, the converter from FNF or from OSU to FNF, I kind of had to like mess around with it, kind of like understand how everything's being processed over and converted into a JSON file. And I kind of had to like tell mappers like, yo, this is how we're going to be doing all these maps now. Be sure to like change them up. And it was still a bit confusing because I have to kind of like sometimes go through the maps to make sure they're like on the right lanes or everything's correct. And it sucks too because in the map editor, it adds everything into like a single camera section. So it's not like you can customize notes in specific camera sections like it does in the FNF editor, which means that you're pretty much kind of SLL in terms of like your difficulty unless you like flip the columns itself, which is why that's how it's like in the JSONs. I was talking a bit too much. I guess I'll do the easier stuff. I guess. I do know what I just want to say. In terms of the easier stuff, I want to say it was adding some of the UI elements into the game, either created by me or gathered from another person that's not here. I felt like it's pretty easy because most of it is just like replacing other assets. Sometimes I may need to like add an extra line or change up some code, but it's not that hard, really, more or less.
Awesome. Okay. Anything the team created that they're proud of? So is there anything that you guys are proud of that you made?
The entire mod.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
the entire
Yo.
mod. Yeah.
What
I mean,
specifically?
this is literally like all like first ever time working on a mod, and I'm pretty proud of how it came out.
Yeah, I am
Sure.
too. You guys
Specifically for
Crazy.
me, I think Dark Sheep Hard was the most polished map I put into this mod so far. Or just it is the most polished map.
Yeah, it
I've-
works
I've
really
made.
well with the mod chart too. Yeah.
It worked really well. So good job, Zombie, on the mod chart.
Good job, both of you, for making it work together.
Yes.
Indeed. You guys will
Collaboration.
never be able to guess which song that I made that I'm most proud of. I have made an instrumental. I did Lemon Summer thing. Yes, basically all I did.
Is this Vodka ringtone?
Okay, yeah, sure. It's Spotgo ringtone.
Actually, were you actually gonna say that?
No, I was gonna say Lemon
Lemons,
Summer,
yeah.
the only other one, but I mean, that could also count as well.
The only thing I can say is Space Battle Normal because it isn't just LNs and just plain easy.
Oh yeah, I think it's
So
a quite
cool.
it's a good map.
My favorite thing that I created that I'm proud of, Amy, is wow, I didn't even get to say mine. I'm really proud of the stupid viewer stuff for dialogue I added.
Oh yeah.
The the randomized viewers that like pop up for week 2 and some of week 3. Because that was very stupid, and I did not like programming some of its randomness. I'm happy it got to work. And also good on Banana for like 2 hours before the mod was gonna release for adding 2 more extra
Rest
NPCs.
in peace,
Yeah.
my friend. He will never be forgotten.
Banana like having his own little.
I had to
adventure
sacrifice my friend Mario just to make the mod.
Oh my god,
Rip.
literally 2 hours before, all of us were having mental breakdowns. Banana's
Oh
like
my
stressing
God.
over the art. Ghost is like going through like, where's the bug coming
The
from?
bugs, yeah.
Like guys.
Yeah, and Freedom Dash.
Oh my god, no, the last minute bugs are absolutely the worst stress ever.
Well, the bug was the looping of the instrumental track, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out the reason why it looped was just because I forgot to put an else statement.
It's so sad.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like the most.
This is depressing.
Oh,
After,
and we were trying to
Just
fix an
kinda
instrumental at the same
normal.
time
yeah,
as well.
it was. Oh my god, yeah. Matthew and Jackie in that call for a good hour working on Freedom Dive.
Yeah.
I'm happy everything turned out well though.
Yeah.
Good job.
At least we didn't release it with like a looping background.
True.
That would have been disaster. Okay, now we're gonna talk about every specific section of development, such as we're gonna go through mapping, music, story, art, and programming. We're gonna start off with mapping, which is Doofy. Take it away.
Okay, I
Or
will.
Doofy and Vix.
And Vix.
I will begin with saying that the first song that we were able to map was RoBeats. So there was a lot of like trial and error and figuring out the system, how we want to get this done. Like, we didn't want to use like traditional like pitch like that is used on RoBeats. We wanted to use some more like FNF style pitch of the up arrow indicating the highest sound and the down arrow indicating the lowest sound. So we were just testing that out on RoBeats. Then slowly but surely, each song like started being, when they were completed, started being posted onto Trello, the mappers to get these things done. I ended up taking up the role as reviewer because I noticed many of the maps needed fixes. So yeah, that's what happened.
You should talk about Shelter. That's a good story.
Shelter.
Oh, God.
Oh, Shelter. Okay, so what happened with Shelter was that for some reason boyfriend vocals were not synced properly.
And
to-
that was because I did it, and when I literally got FL Studio just so I could get the vocals for this. Because it was for the sound font, so I was like, all right, I'm so new to FL, but I'm gonna do this. And at the time, I did not know I didn't know how to snap notes in FL, so everything was just like really off in FL, but it sounded okay, so I just let it go until like
a couple days before release.
yeah, a couple days before release of mod, I went back into the file because now I'm like way better at FL Studio, know like what to do and everything. I zoomed in on it, it was so off, like oh my god, it was so bad. Every note was like a good like 30 milliseconds off from what it's supposed to be, and I was like, oh my god, it's been like this the whole time.
Your map
So,
is
yeah.
30 milliseconds off.
This
Don't be afraid to ask
Azurix
any
times
mapping
2.
Feedback.
Okay, but here's the thing.
I mean, points.
This issue was noted like when the song first came in, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. It's completely fine. You should just map it like how it would be."
I don't know it
And
was
it just
Look, okay, I didn't know it was that off until okay, because it sounded okay to me until like you guys kept saying it. I was like, is it really that off? I went to check.
Yeah.
It was terribly off. It was so
Yeah, and then
off.
This is fine,
I
upside
reviewed
down.
it again in October, and then nothing was changed. Nothing happened, and then I had to say it again in December before the release.
My bad. Yeah, okay, that was alright.
That was basically the story of mapping. Also, a bunch of the mappers were leaving like halfway through development and halfway through the reviews. So I ended up needing to fix a lot of the maps myself. So that was a whole ordeal that I had to deal with. Not fun.
Yeah.
Extremely fun.
How
No
many-
issues to note.
How
How
many
many?
mappers do you guys think like joined this team throughout the entire production?
Yeah, so we had 10 charters, and now we are down to a solid 3.
3, yeah.
Yay.
We ended up with 3 at the end, which is kind of
Whoa.
ridiculous.
But it's okay. Other people have other commitments in their lives, and not everyone needs
True.
to be dedicated to the mod. But poor
Well, I mean, some
Doofy
of
being
them
like,
didn't even
Yeah.
No.
all.
yeah,
But
And I contributed a solid 4 maps.
you contributed by fixing it yourself, which
yes.
is good.
Yeah.
The first one to fix all of his maps. Everyone's like, changes. I don't see any changes that need to be made. Okay, that's awesome. Interesting stories for the mappers. Next, we have music.
I really wish we could have Jackie because I feel like he could bring some interesting
Facts,
stuff.
because Jackie made like all of the instrumentals.
That is
Yeah.
so true. He worked really
Dude, I can't comprehend how
Alright.
he
He
did
worked
that,
his
how he
butt off.
managed
I
to make
know.
all of the instrumentals in Soundtrap quite possibly the worst DAW to ever exist.
He made
but
it sound
did
really
it
good
somehow. You can't stress that enough. Like, huge props must be given. It is obligatory. You can't not ignore that.
too. Yeah, when I first heard he was using Soundtrap, I was like kind of worried, but then he sent the things. I was like, oh my god, this is actually kind of good.
Exactly. That shouldn't work. Why is it working? Oh
Right?
well,
Oh
I
my
don't care. For me personally, the longest section to get through was, believe it or not the instrumental. I kind of speedran the instrumental, but the vocals, I just kind of slept on the vocals. How do you do this and make it sound good and also make it sensible? A chart. So like, when should you make Spotco sing? When should you make Boyfriend sing? And
Yeah.
when should there be a duet? Like decisions that had to be made.
Also, trying to
Which-
harmonize two voices that sounds extremely different. It's like it kind of in some places it sounded really like off.
Oh yeah, harmonizing.
Yeah.
Like harmonizing, it sounds good on paper, and then you're like, oh yeah, it also sounds good if you do it correctly, but it's so difficult to actually do it correctly. So
That's why the what's it called? The Lena's harmonizing was really good. Like the Bad Apple one and also Space Battle.
oh yeah,
Remember any
Space
of those?
Battle.
Yeah. Her
Space
harmonies were
Battle.
really good.
Dude, Space Battles. Everything
Yeah.
about Space Battle is
Space
brutal.
Battle is pretty good.
The Freedom Dive thing.
Oh yeah, Freedom
The
Dive.
keychain.
Freedom
It's not
Dive.
later.
Okay, key changes are not easy to grasp, so I'm not blaming anybody for this. But Freedom
Yeah.
Dive took so long to get right because key changes are bad. We don't like key
They're
changes.
so confusing.
They're so confused. They're no. Like when the key change, when not the key change. How high to move up the notes? Like it's just no.
Yeah, it's yes.
Next is the storyline, which we have a lot to cover for that. I don't remember what the initial like storyline was gonna be, but like I think it was. Actually, it kind of stayed consistent the whole time. We wanted Chrisu in there. We wanted like Spocko.
I actually
in it, obviously.
suggested Chris here, I think.
Yeah. He liked being in the mud too. The storyline, I can't actually remember much because we didn't really develop the storyline until like it was like at a really early stage and a really late stage, so I don't really remember much from it. But I do remember the time where we did talk about having different endings for the thing. Because initially we were only going to have one ending, which was either, we were debating, would it be like, are we going to have boyfriend get banned or are we going to have him like stay? And then we're like, hey, why don't we do both? Like, you know, depending on what score you get determines your ending. So currently we have 3 endings and I think that's really cool. Because, okay, I don't play a lot of mods, but this is the only mod I've seen personally that has different endings. But yeah, I did like the concept of having like your like accuracy determine like if you unlock the dark sheep in story mode and like what accuracy like, you know. Okay, what I find funny is how when you like die you get banned for exploiting, but the reason you died was because you did so bad on the song that you but yeah, we're just gonna go with that because whatever, you can't even exploit properly. Goddamn, that's sad.
Dang, and then you get caught. And Roden carried the story basically. I mean, he came up with the actual idea of like the 3 weeks, I think.
Mhm.
It wasn't. I don't know if it was the 3 weeks, but he technically just made up the entire story.
Yeah, he had the he's
He's not here anymore.
He's not-
but,
but
like,
that's whoa, bro. That sounds like he's like dead.
He's not here
No,
anymore.
He's not in
dead.
his world
God.
anymore, but
no,
he was a
he's not
good
in the
man.
server. He was
Yes, he is
banned
no
from
longer.
Roblox.
Rest in peace.
He has moved on from this mod, but he
Yeah.
basically created the entire storyline of how the boyfriend sees the city, encounters Chris, and then gets mass reported and gets banned from Spoko. Literally, the entire thing was his idea. So yes, big shout out.
Shout out to Roden, the big boy.
Large shout out.
Large, very
Large.
large,
Humongous shout out.
humongous, extraordinarily large shout out.
Humongous shout out.
Substantial shout out.
Next part of this is the art section, so let's hear your stories from that.
Yeah, so this literally all started with me because I was technically the first artist of the mod. Originally, I was gonna do backgrounds, but then I was like, oh, damn, I can't draw backgrounds. I can only draw characters because that's how life works for me, apparently. So then later, we got Ghost into the game, which is the mod team, and he basically carried the backgrounds. He carried the chart. Yeah, he carried basically like programming, charting and stuff.
Banana, do you still have that old like Shadow Star sprite sheet?
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
I remember like okay, before I knew Banana, he DM'd me. He's like, "Yo, I made a mod of you," and I was like, okay. So he sent me the thing, and it was actually pretty cool. That was literally the first time I actually downloaded FNF because I had zero interest in it before then. So actually,
Yeah,
thank you, Banana,
it
for
was-
getting me into it.
Yeah, long story short, Ghost carried backgrounds. I did character assets and animation. I
And
used to
Pierce.
use Paint 3D.
And Pierce got all the
Assets.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
grade,
yeah.
okay, literally like everything. That's. I remember I made this thing in Paint. It was literally a sprite sheet, but it was like completely wrong. Like I just like did like a random drawing of like 16.
Oh my god! I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. It's
yeah.
like the little
Oh,
red
the
guy.
Stickman. The
Yeah.
Stickman.
No, it's literally just a head with a line. There's no arms or legs.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I was like, okay, let's see if this works. And of course, it totally didn't work because it's not the same dimension. Thank you for sharing your stories. And our last section for this is programming. So this will be
Yeah.
All right. So for start off with
Go
me as
on.
the programmer, absolutely horrific. I got stuff to work. I got the assets in. I got the songs working, and I even got the maps in. But that was pretty much all I could do. I didn't no idea what I was doing. Did not know. Didn't know like what I was
And
reading.
then,
Also, it was much just text on the screen. I mean, I was able to like figure out a little like the basic stuff, but not necessarily like the complex stuff. Like I just sat at my computer. The more I played with the code, the more it broke, and then finally our savior zombie ghost appeared, and that's where you can tell your stuff.
yeah, and then you kind of died. For
Yeah, I
like
did
a
die,
few
but
days.
it's
Like you were just stressed out and you needed your time.
Yeah,
yes.
that's fine.
But like
I-
that's over.
And then
Yeah.
zombie ghost one night.
Yeah.
He like carried
Uh,
you.
I did find another video. I'm pretty sure it was a lot more updated than the one Amy found originally, but I was able to kind of like get the stuff working on. Tips for any future FNF mod makers. If you ever do need a help, be sure to join like a mod maker server. There's the FNF mod server. Just go in there, go into coding help or whatever, and ask your problem. Be as descriptive as you can be with it. Because if you just like saying something like, "Hey, I need help," and that's it, nobody's gonna help you. But if you say something like, "Hey, for some reason, none of my dialogue portraits are coming up. I typed all of this, and it's still not appearing," you're more likely to get answers with that. That's another good thing I like with FNF. Most of it is open source. So if you ever do need like a help, or if you want to do something similar to another mod, you can just go ahead and look at that mod. So if you look in the source code for this mod, in the play state, there is a very funny function called stolen from Bob Bosip, and I wonder where that code came from. So it was happening sometime like before school was gonna start for me. I know this happened during school. I was adding, I don't remember what I was adding. I was probably adding like a song or something, because I know this was around the time when RoBeats was being done. I was adding a song to the theme, and in order for you, sometimes if songs or whatever don't update to the mod, you sometimes have to delete the export folder in order for everything to update, because that recompiles everything into like one exe file or whatever. The funny thing with me is that since I was in school, I was already kind of distracted because it was like the first week. So funny little me decided to go up one on like the tabs, and I pushed the source code file, and I ended up pushing delete for that. And another funny thing about me is, since I'm very type A, I hate having a lot of things in my recycling bin. So the moment something goes in there, I always empty it out. So I was trying stuff out, and I was trying to do like the line test windows, and nothing was exporting. And I went to the modding server to ask for help, and then 2 minutes later, I realized I deleted the entire source code for this mod. So I had to start everything from square one,
I remember
which
that was crazy.
I know, I was so mad with that. I was so stupid mad at myself. But a good thing about that is that I ended up learning how to use GitHub. So I uploaded all the code, like constant updates, which is why there's like 30 different commits or whatever, which is awesome. I guess I can talk about mod charting, because I don't know, it's a weird experience, because that was using Lua, and Lua, how I like to call it, Lua is code that wants to be special but also doesn't want to be code. So it kind of uses the same principles, but it does it in an unconventional way. So instead of like if statements, instead of putting like if parentheses whatever parentheses, you have to type if and then your thing, then, and you have to end your entire comment with an end instead of like close brackets, and it bugs me so much.
Wait, oh my god, that sounds so weird.
It's stupid. I ended up like making all of the mod chart myself. It was the first ever time I was messing around with Lua. And after I finished the mod chart and I started doing like classwork, it took me like an entire week for me to stop typing then end statements for like ifs. And it was mad. I always was like, why isn't this working? It's stupid. Looking at PowerShell, that's something too, other mod makers. Understand what your error messages read. Sometimes, like Amy was saying, it could be as simple as like you forgetting semicolon or placing a bracket somewhere else. Other times it can be a bit more complex, like not clearly defining a function, or I don't want to say class, or a file name, and that'll like create a whole slur of problems. So being able to like look over your error messages and see like what exactly you were doing wrong not only is going to help you like understand that, but it'll also help you ask clearer questions in like modding servers if you still need help.
So now we're gonna move on to section 4, which is promotion and the lead up of the mod. I think this could go maybe the week before release of what happened. So our feelings at the time, I think for me my biggest like feeling was like I was like really worried about how the mod would do. I knew we would get like support from like the RoBeats community, because like totally not us like spamming promotion links everywhere to like go play the mod, but I mean that's what you got to do, right? So yeah, but I was like a little worried of like how like it would be received, pretty much, because I know like if you go into the Funky Friday server and keyword RoBeats, there's like literally nothing positive about it. So I was worried about like how like the FNF community would react to this, but I mean it didn't turn out that bad. There are like there's some people who who give us feedback who are not from like RoBeats community, and they like genuinely enjoy the mod. So I'm like, yeah. So I think our feelings at the time was all like worried about like what was gonna happen, like how would we receive it. Any of us like
I was worried that we weren't even gonna finish in time because there were so many issues before the release.
Yeah.
And then our like last minute VC grind where everything went wrong, but we fixed it. We fixed all of our last second issues.
Yeah, we still got this. We got the Saturday release.
Yeah,
Saturday release.
we got it. Some people totally didn't
The
go to
2
bed.
a.m. Sunday, Saturday
3
release.
a.m. on
Listen,
Sunday.
3 a.m.
Yep.
on Sunday morning is Saturday night, and you cannot change my mind. Okay. So then when we released it, our opinion of the mod, I think it was a very exciting time when we released it, because we're all like fuzzing like, guys, go play our mod. We spent so much time on it. And actually the mod was received very well. Like Kursu played it on stream, he really enjoyed it. There were some like little nitpicks, but it wasn't like a whole like I hated the mod because of whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now that I think about it, like nothing. Like it's the same. Like I still really enjoy it. Like really like it. Like I'm really proud of it. I'm like you lose your motivation after you realize how long this is gonna take. But if you do it with other people who are equally motivated, then it's okay. It's not that bad.
It's kind of like
when you have people who motivate you, like
it's support.
Yeah, it's sort of a way that you just kind of build each other up.
Exactly.
Just in a way.
I don't have anything that motivates me. I just have a cooldown.
Yeah, so I actually really like the mod. Like I like how it turned out. Like I think it's pretty clean. Like the charting at least makes more sense than others. Kind of.
Yeah, I remember how like one of my friends like telling me, "Oh, week 1 is like dog water." And I was like, "Yeah, frick you, we're not changing it because, like, if we actually took the charting from RoBeats, we would probably get a DMCA takedown straight or something."
we get an issue with spot code.
Yeah.
Spot code straight up
do not
snipe the mod.
I know.
We can look at some of the things they hate and maybe improve on it.
Yeah, but if it's like they didn't use the original RoBeats starts, like we're not gonna
Yeah, like
try and
I
do that.
Like
I
respond
had
to
to
them about like the
restrict-
DMCA,
I had to
DMCA stuff.
I had to like restrict myself from using LNs everywhere because I know you guys don't
LNs,
enjoy playing
no,
along
no.
with
LNs just
too much.
LNs are so hard in this thing because we have
I know,
slider ends and it
but, like,
kills your HP when you don't hit it properly.
People in general just don't like playing LN maps.
Yeah.
So I just tried to not do that for you.
Majority of the feedback was positive, which was pretty awesome because
Yes,
we
it was
were
pretty
like really
swag.
anxious about it, but then we got a positive response, which was great. A lot of people like just enjoyed the storyline. RoBeats dev commented and said Subako looked like he had stage fright, which I found really funny.
I don't get it, but like I think it's fun.
Yeah. I'm glad that the
It's
RoBeats
funny to
developers
see
saw
from
this.
RoBeats dev.
I think a really funny thing was when Chrissy was playing his own week, how he like literally related to the whole situation of like the fans and like the people spamming, please play with me. That was great. Yeah.
I love that. I added that last second. That's literally the only reason why I added the viewer stuff in the game. Just so that I could do that.
All right.
Oh no,
no.
not
Okay. Yes. Thank you for listening. Have a great day / night or evening, whatever time
And
zone
be sure
you're
to
in.
subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
subscribe
right. You
to
should
Yeah.
everyone.
subscribe to the team's YouTube channel
Subscribe
too.
to
We're gonna post
subscribe.
all the music, the soundtrack,
All the music, all the teasers,
OST.
all
everything, and
Yep.
maybe we'll have some exclusive meme content in there too. Who knows? I don't even know. Oh my god, guys, we currently have 5 subscribers. Where we would be.
Let's
It would
go!
mean the world.
I think it's just
We already
us.
hit a
It's-
milestone.
Guys, you could be the first non-mod team subscriber. Like that's insane.
Boo.
No way.
Oh,
Anyway, thank you. Yes, and goodbye. Everybody say your thank you.
Goodbye, chat.
Goodbye.
goodbye,
Everyone,
chat.
we must post goodbye, chat.
Goodbye.
That's a
Goodbye,
gift.
chat.
Goodbye, chat.
Everyone post
Goodbye,
this gift.
chat.
Everyone post this gift.